John, what's on the slate for the second half of 2013?
So first is, and I think we've talked about the release of Bomb It 2. And I think we've kind of covered that a bit. Then I'm also producing a documentary about breast cancer, which is being shot mostly in Baltimore, but we also went to Catania, Sicily to film the Festival of St. Agatha, who's the patron saint of breast cancer. And that is, we're going to be done cutting the film hopefully, in the fall, and with an eye towards releasing in October 2014. But what's interesting to me about that project, besides the director's really amazing, is that the film, to me, when I heard what the director wanted to do with the film, is I immediately said, that's not a film, that's a transmedia project. And that your film, since she wants to do this verite film about these particular characters, is this one thing, but that all these other expansive ideas that she's had and we've developed during discussions are part of a larger project, which is going to be what is shorthanded called a breast cancer world map, where we're actually going to be seeding that with stories, extra stories that we filmed through our production, but we're going to also, our first foray to expand that is to go to India and to film a hospital and a doctor and patients in Mumbai, and then also encourage other women from around the world to upload their stories. And in addition to that, we're going to have kind of a historical timeline to breast cancer treatment, because the director teaches at Johns Hopkins, so she has access to the Johns Hopkins archives, medical imagery archive, and actually the person who invented the mastectomy actually was a surgeon at Johns Hopkins, so there's a fair amount of material there. And plus we have, as part of I'm one of the transmedia producers, but we just brought on another transmedia producer who is a well-known breast cancer doctor who teaches at Duke and has worked with NIH, and he's connected to organizations and governments related to breast cancer throughout the world. And so he's in the process of connecting us to those organizations and helping us develop this world map, which will have a human face and a story face as a strong component of it, but we'll also have a strong data component as well in terms of potentially, we'll see, epidemiological data, as well as organizations who help, who provide assistance to people who are suffering from breast cancer and survivors of breast cancer. So that's something which is kind of one of my main focuses now. And then also I'm doing my first workshop in Africa this summer in South Africa at the Durban Film Festival. And so that's my 5th continent for my workshops, so I'm very excited about that. And the only continent missing is Latin America. So, Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Colombia, etc. Time to make that happen, so I can add so I can be semi-complete in my continents for the workshops. And then also we're probably going to be having the workshop, my Think Outside the Box Office workshop, come out online, because I've been traveling so much, frankly, for the breast cancer documentary, that I've actually not been doing as many workshops, and and it's time to just get the thing up online so people can access it for, I don't know what we're going to price it at, but it's going to be pretty reasonable so that people can access it from wherever, in the world, and I won't then have to travel. And maybe we'll do some things similar to films where we'll have the workshop online, but maybe there will be a Skype. It's that whole thing about added value that we were talking about earlier, that maybe there will be an extra fee for a Skype session with me, or something along those, or maybe a Skype discussion group where 8 people to get together and we do a series of, Google Chats as part of that. And maybe we'll be doing that as part of that might be a crowdfunding reward, actually. if we, if I do the crowdfunding campaign for Vomit, I'll probably be offering certain of my, other services from my other brand as part to enhance the Vomit crowdfund campaign. Because I realize I have two audiences. I have a film, the film distribution and marketing audience, and people who are interested in that. And then, Vomit has its own brand of people who are interested in graffiti and street art who probably aren't so interested in this other aspect. So, so that's pretty much what's happening for the next, year. And then I have another, I have a food project that I'm working on, and then, a few other projects here and there, filmmakers consultancies that I still do. I still work with an additional 1 or 2 filmmakers a month, whatever I have the time for, in addition to these other larger projects. But part of like my long-term aim is to, and one of the things I'm excited about the breast cancer documentary is that the Transmedia project is so robust, is because I do want to move into that realm. And one of the things, I don't know if you know, if I did this last year, is I consulted on some of the early stages of the Star Trek Transmedia, the Transmedia campaign for Star Trek Into Darkness. And they actually ended up only keeping my call to action, that I developed, and then they didn't do anything else, which was sad. But that "Are You the 1701" is, I can say, I feel at least semi-proud that I contributed to that, even though the number is not, I did not choose that number of the 1701. We had chosen a different number, but I think I'm allowed to say that. I'm on an NDA, but I think I haven't said anything that's in violation of my NDA,
And now you're speaking in San Francisco?
Yeah. In the immediate future, like in the next 2 days, I'm going, not speaking, I'm participating in Ted Hope's artist to entrepreneur workshop that he's doing up there, where it's bringing together tech people, distribution consultants, and filmmakers into kind of a lab environment. And then I'm still doing the IFP Filmmaker Labs. So I do that. I'm doing that this year. Probably will keep on doing that. And that's really funny. I still run into filmmakers that, have good films. Like I just ran into a doc filmmaker that is perfectly positioned to be in the IFP lab. They have a great project, and like they didn't even apply. It's just like, what are you guys doing? Apply. It's like, it's for first-time filmmakers. It's free. They give you lots of stuff, and it's like, the applications are in the spring, and the labs start in late spring, early summer. It's like, filmmakers, you should apply for all these labs that are out there. There's so many opportunities for filmmakers in terms of labs and contests and things like that now. Maybe people have too many that they're involved in, but there's a lot of, there's of course Sundance, but there's a zillion other ones.